Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel here.
Across the streams of hopes and dreams where things are really not. Come along if you can. Come along if you dare.
Have a good one. Cheers, guys.
Side of your mind, but please realize you'll probably be surprised.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you a Van Helsing video from Syfy. Not obviously from Syfy, I'm not Syfy. But this time we're going to be talking about the top 10 favorite characters, or my top 10 favorite characters on the show so far. Just sort of ranking them, all of our core cast that we've seen so far, for me anyway. I just want to say right off the bat, though, that I immensely appreciate all these actors, and again, just the cast and crew, and how they've oddly just welcomed me into their world that they've created here. It's just very humbling and very still taken back by how kind you've all been, and just how some of you actually watch my videos. That still throws me off. But yeah, these are my personal favorite characters. I'm sure a lot of your orders would be different. I'm sure a lot of your rankings would be different. And there's a couple I left off the list because this is the top 10. So I wanted to address a couple of those right away. There's the just hold on a second. Just gotta check something real quick. Sorry about this. Okay, yeah. Alright, yeah, there's a couple that's going to be left off the list here, and again, it's just because it's the top 10, and just some characters have naturally been given more development than others so far. And again, it's just personal preference, but again, I enjoy all of them. Every character has their place on the show. Van Helsing's just more and more increasingly well done. So I'm sure this could very well change as it goes, and still very much excited for Season 3. It should be a blast. So yeah, one I should mention before I get into the list is Jennifer Cheon's character, the main sisterhood member that we've seen, especially towards the end of Season 2. She's a lot of fun. We did see a little bit of a flashback with her. I just feel like I need a little bit more to go on with her. She's still very cool to watch, and she also seems to be a very cool person, by the way. Then you have Scab, Rowland. I'm sorry I didn't put you on the top 10. But I really loved what they did with Scab again with his flashback at the end of Season 2. And it's just always amazing to watch you relish in how vampires move and stuff like that. You've really created a unique kind of thing for yourself, I think, with that. And Scab, Van Helsing still wouldn't be the same without him. And also Dimitri might be one that people would be surprised isn't on the list. He almost was. He's still a very good villain on the show. He was still a very good villain on the show. Although I have a personal favorite villain besides him. He's sort of an older, more classic style villain you'd expect from a show called Van Helsing. Although we'll see what this, if this Dark one ever gets released, with that potential Dracula is kind of like. But Dimitri still brought a lot to the show, and Paul Johansson did a wonderful job. Very brutal way that the Elder killed him, but also very satisfying. So yeah, I know there's probably others I left off the list, and I'm not doing that on purpose. I just forget because I'm me. But yeah, why don't we actually get into the list now. My number 10, my 10th favorite character on the show is going to be Flesh. Of course, Vincent Gale. A really, really consistently nice performance from him. It was, spoilers in this video, by the way, because it's kind of hard to talk about all these characters without getting into spoilers. But yeah, it was sad to see him go with Lucky, towards the end of season 2. It was surprising to me. But like I said, he always gave a really consistent, very solid performance, and Flash was one of the more solidly developed characters, I'd say, on the show, from where he starts to how well he ends up fitting in on the show. I think it was a pretty nice progression. And his romance with Lucky, I think, I missed more than I thought I would. So yeah, number 10 is going to be Flash, for sure. He was definitely a standout and definitely one of our originals in a certain way. So, number 9, I know some people definitely have this character higher. But for me, just some things changed about her a little bit. But my number 9 is going to be Scarlet, Missy Peregrine. I understand if some people, if she's some people's favorites, or like within the top 3, 4 or something, I don't know. But, she's still a very cool character. I like the flashbacks. I even like the younger actress they had playing her as a kid. And I really, really loved her tying it as being Vanessa's sister. The episode where they find that out in season 2 is one of my absolute favorites of the season. Although I do agree with some that, she is this mysterious ninja, killer type of character. Then when she took the mask off, she was immediately really, really, really talkative, which is true. So, I did kind of take away from some of her mystique a little bit, some of her interest, for me anyway. But, still, she's really cool to watch. She has Vanessa's powers, or similar to Vanessa's powers, are still developing at an earlier stage. But she definitely has a way of fighting that no other character really does. So she's unique in that way. And she's still a lot of fun on the show, just not in the way I'd expect, or I originally expected. But I think she'll continue to grow and become a leader, as she already kind of has to a certain extent. So yeah, number 9 is going to be Scarlet. Number 8 is Muhammad, played by Trezor Maharo. I hope I got your name right. I probably didn't. So I apologize for any butchering of names in this video too, by the way. But yeah, Muhammad, he's almost like the Glenn, or at least he started as kind of like the Glenn of Van Helsing, like Glenn from The Walking Dead, and just the way he could move around the city and stuff like that. He's sort of like a scout kind of character to start, but then we find a little bit deeper details to his relationship with especially Sam. And then sort of his more morally gray decisions when it came to Vanessa, as well as his sister, which is understandable to a certain extent, but he definitely still made some wrong choices for sure when it came to Vanessa, but you gotta see it from his perspective sometimes too, and I still think he's a good guy at heart. But he's definitely in a bad position right now with being turned by Sam. They're going to make a really, really devastating duo in season 3, and I can't wait to see it. I'm also dreading it, but it's going to be great. So yeah, number 8 there is Muhammad. Number 7 is a character I hope none of you have forgotten about, and that is Susan, played by Hilary Jardane. Sorry about that. I really miss her on the show. I honestly do still think she was killed off too soon. That was like one of my only gripes with the first season, when she was killed by Sam, which made sense, and it still kind of added to the realism of the kind of world they're in. And I get it. I'm past it. I'm not holding it as like huge grudge against the show anymore. Don't worry. But I guess I'm still hurt just because I really liked her connection to Vanessa. She was in a way like besides Dylan, like her tether to her old life. And I think there's still definitely a lot of untapped potential with their romance, when she kissed Vanessa, and I don't know, I think that could have been explored a little bit more. I think the show actually would have benefited from that. I think she could have became even more than she was, after visiting, her home and everything like that. But, it's kind of the nature of the world, just like The Walking Dead, just like Game of Thrones, just like other shows, characters like that are going to die, whether they deserve it or not. So yeah, number 7 is Susan. Number 6 is a character I actually never thought I was going to have that high on the list, because there was definitely a time where I didn't like Doc. I didn't like Doc at all for a certain period of time. But yeah, my number 6 is going to be Doc, actually. Played by, why am I blanking out here? Rukia Bernard, excuse me. Rukia Bernard, she's a really talented actress. She's also been Supernatural and tons of other stuff. And Doc, she's grown a lot, you know. Sorry, just noise in the background. Anyway, Rukia Bernard, she's almost like Flesh. She's given one of the most consistently strong performances on the show. Just like subtle little flickers of Doc's emotion have always been great. Her relationship with Axel, her fear, her cowardice, but then her growth that she's had from that. I think it's been a really interesting journey for Doc, and I'm actually happy that she survived into season 3, because I think that she only has more to go. And then with Julius, that was a lot of fun at the end. And then like the back half of season 2, where they had that bonding thing where she was having to try different foods. It was a lot of fun. I'd actually like to see a lot more between Julius and Doc, whichever way that goes. I think that'd be really nice. So number 6 is going to be Doc. I'm actually happy to have her on the list. I'm enthusiastic to talk about Doc, and like I said, at a certain time, I didn't think I ever would be, but I am. pretty good character, actually. Number 5 is going to be Axel. Jonathan Scarf, who also directed a couple episodes. A character that you can't really see the show without. I know he's probably higher for some people. Personal preference. I'm still having him at 5, just within the top 5. It's great to have a character like him, a military kind of man, but at the same time he does have a heart, which we were really seeing a lot of at the end of season 2, with him talking about some of his earlier life to Scarlet and everything. The hookup with Scarlet still felt a little bit random, but I still like Axel quite a bit. It was great, because when we thought he was killed because of Doc's decision, it was pretty surprising, but we were all hoping for the best when we see him come back up at the end of season 1 as a vampire. He made a really cool vampire too. I actually thought he was even more interesting as a vampire, as he was traveling on with Doc. With Doc trying to find some way to redeem herself, and knowing she had to try to make up for it however she could. Axel, he's definitely been through the ringer, but he was always there for Vanessa, Scarlet now too, obviously. He's definitely a great part of the group. The group probably wouldn't have survived without him this long, or who's ever left of it anyway. Number 5 is going to be Axel. And sorry, I'm not going to be able to talk for an hour about everyone, even though I might like to. So again, I apologize if this video seems brief in parts. So number 5 is Axel. Number 4 is another character that, like Susan, I hope isn't forgotten. And that is Laura Manil's character, her antagonist, Rebecca, who I really missed on the show. She was killed off, pretty much right at the beginning of season 2. I think she had untapped potential as a villain. I think she could have been given even more layers had she gone on longer. I don't know what it was. I don't know if Neil Abu just wanted her off the show. I don't know if she just really wanted to pursue other projects. I'm not sure. But, when I first seen her, I thought she was like a villain for the long haul. But again, it's an ever-changing world. It's, people die on both sides. But she is still really cool. She had a great look to her. She definitely had menace to her, and I liked her dynamic with Dimitri and everyone like that. As well as the people they were holding was interesting. And, great effects on her face was kind of damaged too. Great makeup for that. Number 4 is going to be Rebecca. Again, I wish I had more to say about her, but she was kind of killed off a little bit too soon, I think, for me anyway. But she still definitely left an impression, no question about it. Now we're into the top 3, my top 3 favorite characters on Van Helsing. Number 3 is Sam, Christopher Heyerdahl. In my opinion, or at least to me, the best villain that we have on the show, the best antagonist we have on the show. And that's in large part because we've seen him develop throughout since the beginning of the series, starting as like a quiet, almost sympathetic character, then just seeing he's absolutely the creepiest person you could ever run into on the show. And the fact that he becomes a vampire makes it even worse. He basically becomes like the worst version of what he could be. But Christopher Heyerdahl, he just knocks it out of the park playing Sam. From his voice, it's again creepy as fuck. The way he moves, Christopher Heyerdahl has just mastered it. He relishes it, and you can tell he enjoys playing it. He puts his all into it. and with his history with Muhammad and his grudge and rivalry with Vanessa, there's just a lot that make him, again, in my opinion, the best villain on the show. Also, the Elder is an honorable mention too. I think we'll see even more of him, especially with his dynamic with Vanessa in season 3. But yeah, my number 3 is Sam. The show definitely would not be the same without him. It wouldn't be nearly as great for me as it is if it wasn't for a character like Sam. So yeah, my number 2, at least top 2 shouldn't surprise anyone if you see my tweets about the show on Twitter. But my second favorite character on the whole show is Julius, played by Alex Panovic. I love this guy. He's been one of the most welcoming to me on Twitter. You know, I think he's watched my videos. He just seems like a really humble, down-to-earth guy. And Julius, he's another one of the most well-developed characters on the show. Seeing him as the mighty Julius, as like a general for Dimitri, although having disagreements with him, his past with his mother and everything. To see him cured by Vanessa early on in season 2, and becoming, in my opinion, a very core and heart of the group. He's just a very enjoyable and likable character to have around now at this point, which I wasn't expecting. You know, when I first seen him, I just thought he'd be a really good villain, which he was for the time, but I think he's really become what he is because of seeing how good of a person he can actually be. I'm so glad he survived season 2. It would not be the same without him. For some reason, I just gotten into and connected with this character so much. I really trust his instincts. I trust his heart, and I can't wait for more of that to be seen in season 3. And if Sam is ever killed, when Sam is killed at some point, I think Julius would be a good one to do it for what happened to his mother, him or Muhammad potentially. And I also really like Julius's dynamic with Vanessa as well as Doc, so I would really like both of them to have more Julius time in season 3. It was also funny with the fat lady hitting with the frying pan and stuff. With the whole cannibal thing. I don't know why I just saw that. But I'd also like to see more badass Julius stuff in season 3, defending the group. His past as a boxer. I'd like to see him really take down some regular vamps at least. But yeah, I just love having Julius around. Alex Panovic, you're awesome. Seeing you on tons of other stuff too. It's really great to have you around. So I can't really express my love for the character enough. But yeah, my number 2 is Julius. And my number 1 is pretty damn obvious at this point, but my favorite character on the show is, of course, Vanessa Kelly Overton. One of the strongest leads in a show, not just female, but any gender, any male, be it male or female. One of the strongest and most consistently interesting and increasingly compelling leads I've seen in a show in quite some time. From her savagery as her more vampiric, animalistic side kicks in, to her bond with Dylan, the tragedy she went through losing her, all really well done. Another honorable mention, by the way, was Abby, of course, Scarlett and Vanessa's mother, who I think was also killed off a bit too soon, just because I want to see Vanessa get a chance to connect with her before she was killed. I don't know. She was still played really well. Anyway, Vanessa, I know Kelly Overton was pregnant, so that kind of, cut down her time towards the end of season 2, but she still had a lot of great stuff in this season for sure. Especially when she snaps in the hallway and everything. It's a really cool fight sequence, with the vamps and, Scarlett on her side and everything. The shows build around her, and I think even more so, it's going to become more and more clear in season 3 with her dynamic with being revived by the Elder. It's going to be really cool as we discover even more of her heritage. And she's just great to watch, just in terms of fighting and violence again. Kelly Overton, she seems like a really sweet and really sincere actress. So yeah, that's my top 10. That's my favorite characters on Van Helsing. Let me know who you guys are. Let me know. Let me know your favorites. If I can talk today, I don't know. Let me know who your favorites are. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, like, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. And again, I could have easily made this video longer, but I didn't want to drag it out for too long, and I do have to pick up my girlfriend at some point, so I gotta stop somewhere. But yeah, so I love Van Helsing. Can't wait for season 3 again. So fucking happy it got renewed for season 3. Julie, you know what? Like Vanessa, Julius, Sam, everything. It's really made this show into one of my favorites to watch. I think season 3 it's gonna be even higher on my all-time or on my favorite of the year list once it airs. So yeah, I want to keep ranting, but I gotta stop. So catch you guys next time. Peace.